Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 9 of this NHL 20 Draft to Glory franchise mode with the Reading Royals. Today we get into the 2023 NHL Entry Draft. This is, I believe, our 5th draft now that we've hit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is our 5th draft now. And I mean, we don't have as many picks as we have in previous years, but it's looking really promising still, and we might just be able to land a lottery pick here. Depends on how things go, but we are going to sim up and see where the lottery lands us. So here we go. New cap there, obviously that's pretty normal. And oh my gosh, we moved down. Damn it, we moved down a whole bunch of picks. Pittsburgh lands that franchise center in Leach. Good for them. But man, we were kind of looking for another center here, so I'm interested to see. We land the 7th pick there, which is not anywhere near as good as what we were hoping for. But at the same time, there is this guy named Sacito here who's NHL ready and might actually be an elite player still. He's only 5'9", but man, I don't know. I don't know who to pick here because there are enough options that we could. I mean, it's unlikely that an elite falls to us, but you never know. And man, like, no weaknesses on Damon Montgomery. That probably would be our best pick. So, I mean, there's an option that we trade up for the 4th pick still, but it's unlikely. Like, I just don't see that happening. So, for retiring players, Jumbo Joe finally calls it quits in Calgary. Patrice Bergeron retires in Boston. Blake Wheeler in Winnipeg. Corey Perry in Calgary as well. A couple of these guys are actually pretty decently rated still, I have to say. But as far as goalies go, Ryan Miller, that's a lot of wins for sure, especially where he was drafted. Jimmy Howard, not bad. Same with Brian Elliott and Corey Schneider, and even Michael Neuwirth. Even Carter Hutton and Anton Khudobin all had over 100 wins. So, now the question is, do we trade up to guarantee land a center? Is that possible? Because we want an elite center, but then these other guys are projecting to be elite, and we really don't know. So that is possible. Blake Wheeler and Mark Giordano both retire as coaches. And let's see. I am going to go to draft interviews here because I want to try to find out a little bit more about these two guys here. Because really, when we look at the entirety of the draft, there are not that many options. There are no late round kind of crazy good players in here that we've seen in previous years. Like, it's just, it's sad. It's a sad draft year this year for sure. And I really don't know where we're going to be picking anybody, so. The only guys that I can kind of guarantee as good picks are going to be guys like Anthony Del Zotto and Davis Hickey. Besides that, we really don't have a ton of other targeted players, as really there just aren't that many in the draft. So, Nickel and, even Todd Ellis. Ellis will be a good player probably to pick up as well, as our team does need forwards, but this is going to be a pretty forward-heavy draft, I would say, for the majority of this episode. And yeah, we'll see kind of who we can land, who's available as well. And I mean, as far as the trade block goes, we do want to try and move some guys out if possible. So all these top guys are staying. They're untouchable. I would say the biggest surprise or improvement here has been Francisco Rogers, as he's just grown like crazy. Yakimowicz got up to an 84, so that is incredibly astounding. I'm so happy for him there. But we can trade guys like Connor Sherry or even Sam Gagner. as they do have some trade value, and, you know, maybe we could pick up a pick or something. That could be possible, but you never know. Yeah, I would say the biggest problem with our team right now is we don't have as many expendable assets as I would like. Like, I wish we had another player or two we could kind of just trade away for picks. Like, we can move D'Angelo, we could move Gagne, we could move guys like that who have some value, but there's no way we're getting a top 5 pick for those. So that's kind of just the biggest problem at this point. So we are going to get into this draft. We're going to try to potentially trade up. That could be an option here. But at the same time, I really don't know who exactly we're taking. It's a bunch of question marks. And honestly, at this point, we're probably good to trade away certain players. Like, I mean, 31 and 33 years old already for these two guys. They are pretty much ready to get traded off here. Even a guy like Eric Comrie could be expendable, but I doubt he has any value because I'm pretty sure his contract's up. Besides that, I mean, obviously we want to kind of keep most of our elite players here as they're going to be the stepping stones and building blocks of this team. But if we can land an elite center, that will be kind of our last piece that we truly need here to get this team set up properly. Because the defense is good, the goaltending's looking good, and yeah, no, we're where we want to be, I would say. So, honestly, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to really trade up here much. We are going to look for kind of some slightly later round picks, if possible. So, let's see. Our picks right now consist of, let's see. So we got 2 firsts and 2 seconds, but then rounds 3 to 7, we only have our own picks, really. So, yeah, by the looks of it, we're going to end up acquiring probably at least another 3rd and 4th rounder if possible. But, I mean, I would like to pair that with, like, if we could go for the 4th pick. The Islanders have got Barzal already, but I just don't see them actually making this trade in any way. So if they would take Sherry plus, yeah, there's not going to be enough value, unfortunately. We simply cannot provide enough value to land one of these players here, which is, it's too bad, but that's how it's going to work. And honestly, our team is good enough to continue to support themselves, be self-sufficient, and start to win games here because this core is starting to look good. Because, yeah, Sherry and Gagne are the only guys I could really offer. Islanders would have too many players in their organization. Okay, so what I want from them is a 3rd rounder and a 4th rounder as well, if possible. Plus, then we have to go 2 players. So those 2 players are going to be literally like their least valuable players. So a guy like Bogosian and then another guy like Donskoy would be kind of perfect there. But now we are going to have to throw on a 1st rounder most likely. I don't want to throw on the 7th. I would much rather throw on Boston's 1st rounder next year and see if this goes through. It does not. So, let's try. We can't throw D'Angelo in there as well. That just won't work. But we could try. Vorobov is way up there in rating. Holy. He's definitely playing in the AHL next year. But no, I want to say Olsen, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know if he's worth giving up. Maybe. Do we have any unsigned goalies? No, not really. Okay, so we're probably going to have to give up a 2nd kind of draft pick here. Oh, well, what? We could throw San Jose's 32nd in there too, as we kind of have to. But, okay, they're saying we really have to make it worth their while, which stinks, because that means we're probably going to have to give up both of these Boston 1st rounders. And, of course, the trade cuts off there. So, Donovan Leach there, obviously a pretty solid franchise player there, and Pignot drops off, so that's not good. Okay, so let's actually just see if this center gets picked here at the 3rd pick. We're not taking... Okay, so Turnbull does go to the... what do you call it? Does go to the Canadiens, so we are going to try to get this deal done. We're going to go Sherry, Gagne, alongside not the 7th, but the 32nd. And then Boston's 2 first-rounders over the next 2 years. All in exchange for... We're also picking up a 4th-rounder and a 3rd-rounder, so the less valuable ones, obviously. And then we're going to take Bogosian and Donskoy as well. And that should be enough to get the deal done. I'm expecting them to accept this. And they don't. Interesting. So maybe we take worse players. We take like Jenkins and like Vance, or no, Jenkins and like Lindholm maybe. Okay, so yeah, they're not biting on this, which is terrible. It sucks, but I'm kind of interested to see where our picks are going to land still. So instead of going to New York with this trade offer, we're going to try to slide back a little bit because there are other prospects in here that could potentially be super, super good still. And I'm looking specifically at guys like, see, Montgomery's going to go to probably the Islanders. Dylan Owen, I would expect to end up in... whoever got the 5th pick there, I kind of forgot, to be honest. But then we want to try to take the risk on Nordquist, but we also want to see what Cecito has to offer. And those guys are around picks 11 and 13, and by the looks of it, the Toronto Maple Leafs want to trade, but I don't know how much cap space they actually have. So let's see if they want Shiri or Gagne in exchange for... I mean, obviously that would be worth enough for them, but... what we want as well is we want to pick up a 3rd and 4th rounder. And then we have to take a player as well, at least, if not 2. We can take Cody Ceci off of their hands, and then we have to go with one more guy. So let's go Ceci plus, like... Johansson. Toronto's over the cap because we're sending them $8.3 million, so we have to go Johnson plus... We need another fat contract here for no value, which is not good. How is Nick Patan 86 rated? What the hell? Okay. So this pick's going to go right away here for the Rangers. So maybe we'll try to work out a deal here. But yeah, the Islanders are obviously going to take Montgomery. We've got the 7th pick, but I want to pick up an... Oh, actually, you know what? I know how we're going to get this deal done. I keep forgetting that we have to trade the 32nd because we're only allowed one extra pick per round. So if we go the 32nd along with, I want to say Connor Sherry, just because we don't really have a lot of center depth in this team. If we can go these 2, okay, that's $6 million. And then in exchange, we can get like Janssen plus CC. I think this will go. I think they'll take this, and yeah, trade accepted. All right, so that looks good. We get Andreas Janssen there, which is not terrible, and we pick up the 11th in exchange for the 32nd, essentially, at the expense of Connor Sherry, but that's honestly not that bad. Looking forward here, okay, so the Oilers have 1 pick there. Maybe we go with Winnipeg? Yeah, okay. So let's try a deal here. We're going to try to go with the Jets, as they tanked it pretty bad here, by the looks of it, even though they have some really good players still. So we're going to go and offer for the 3rd and 4th rounder there. And then honestly, if we could get like a second as well from Winnipeg next year in exchange for... Actually, wait, do we have 2 seconds next year? Yeah, we do. Shit. Okay, so maybe we throw... You know, I'd rather exchange Boston's pick in like for Winnipeg's pick next year if we can do that. So if we go that and then throw in... Actually, who's matching their trade block? They want Tony DeAngelo. So if we could do... That's not enough, unfortunately. Oh, it's because I selected a second by accident. Okay, maybe this will go, but I doubt it. So we can try this, and rejected. Okay, it's because it's their first rounder. So if I can go a third and a fourth, and then maybe not this like upcoming season's draft pick, but the one after that. So like that one in exchange. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Yeah, none of these are going to go. So if we can just go Tony DeAngelo in exchange for those 2 picks plus like, let's say like a 4th rounder next year as well. Do we have space for a 4th rounder in 2024? Yes, we do. Perfect. Okay, this should go. And there you go. Okay, so we get 3 good picks there for Tony DeAngelo. And it's looking good now. So we're going to sim through here. Owen was actually the better pick. So that kind of sucks for the Islanders and the Canadiens. But, you know, it happens. Roden is a 77 overall forward there. So that's a pretty solid ETA there. But I think the guy we have to go with here is going to be Nordqvist, as he's got a lot of A's on the board, which I like to see. And then Sacito, we're interested in too, but honestly, kind of hard to tell who's going to be the best prospect here. They're saying a guy like Tripp is a 1-year ETA, and he's got some supposedly really good grades. I don't know if I entirely trust that, but yeah, we're going to go with the forwards because that's what we need. So we're going to go with Thomas Nordqvist here, a 6'5" forward. I'm going to assume he's either a power forward or a two-way forward, not a playmaker. And I like what I'm seeing here so far. So Thomas Nordqvist, let's see how he turns out. And 78 rated. He's only medium top 6 forward, but I really like that rating. So with the 9th overall pick, the overall drops off as Columbus picks McNaughton. What's his name? Cody McNaughton. Yeah, so not nearly as good as the last couple picks. Luomala, 10th overall pick. He's a sniper, but only 67 rated. So now we get to see what Dallas Sacito is actually rated here. He put up some really nice numbers, I have to say. Like, he had 67 points in 67 games. But he's an undersized playmaker by the looks of it, and really, this might be a risky pick, as there is a guy like Jorgen Fast who looks like he's going to be super good versus, well, I mean, Sacito's NHL ready, so he's probably going to be the higher overall pick, so that's why we're going to take him. So, Dallas Sacito, only 75 rated. I mean, only. That's still a really good overall, and he's a playmaker, which is exactly what our team needs up the middle. And, I mean, I'm still happy with that pick. It's not a bad pick by any means. So Boston takes, what's his name here? Tripp? Corey Tripp. Right-handed offensive defenseman. Actually looks very nice. Going to be a really good player overall. Wait, was he? Did they take him off the board? I kind of feel like they did. I feel like they went way off the board, actually, with that one. Oh, maybe not. No, they didn't. There's just another player similar to him. But yeah, Tripp's a really nice player. Same with McMuffin. Both those guys are right and left-handed offensive defensemen. Okay. So we are going to sim up to pick number 36 now. See what we missed, or by the looks of it, didn't miss. As really, we landed the prospects we wanted. Nobody crazy high rated has gone beyond that, so there haven't really been any steals. And, I mean, looks pretty good. I think we played that about as well as we could have. And then with our next pick here, we are going to go with Todd Ellis. I know he's a 3-year ETA versus Rupp has a 2-year ETA, but I just get the feeling that we need more forwards here still, so we are going to go with Todd Ellis here and hope that he can kind of turn out to be a pretty solid player, as he is a 5'8" left-wing playmaker. And he turns out to be 63 rated, so not terrible, but the best overall so far in the second round. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with Ellis as a pick there. We're going to move over to pick number 64 now, the last one of this draft, as I believe that was San Jose's pick. And what did we miss? I'm sure we missed something. Kavanaugh was not bad. Gostad was not bad. Sundin was alright. Rammer was alright. Winther would have been the pick. Shaw was actually ridiculously high rated too, at 72 overall. Boscheman was a low elite. So yeah, definitely some interesting misses there that we could have picked up right after. But no, I'm still happy with what we got there. I'm not complaining. And I think we're kind of just adding the depth pieces here that we really need to make this team successful for the future. With the next pick, we're going to go off the board a little bit, and we're going to be looking at these two elite players here, as really everybody else here, we really don't know how they're going to turn out very well. A bunch of guys are listed as like grinders or stuff like that, and it's just like, I don't want to take the risks on these guys. Honestly, I kind of do, because I get the feeling that the elite players here that I've got pinned are just really not going to turn out. They're going to be like medium top 9 and medium top, or like a bottom 6 defender kind of thing or something like that. So maybe we just go with the next best available player instead of Nystrom, and we go with Mikel Lapointe here, or Michel. I think it's Mikel because it's like Michael. But he's a two-way forward, 6'2" center. Got a 3-year ETA, so hopefully he's not a medium top 9. And let's see, what did we land there with that last pick? And yeah, he was a medium top 9. So that's why, yeah, I was kind of hesitant, but oh well, you missed some. So obviously you can't land every pick, but we didn't exactly miss on anything, as we still have multiple shots here at different players that we do want. So I am actually going to go not with Brandon Nystrom here. I'm going to go with Yuri Bykov, as he's got the 3-year ETA, and I'm just hoping he turns out to be something more than a medium top 6 defender. And Yuri Bykov, medium top 6 defender. Nice. So, yeah, Bykov's a bit of a disappointing pick. That happens. There's not much you can really do about it. But we are going to go off the board here and pick a guaranteed player that we know is going to have the potential. That is going to be Bedrich Krajicek, I think is how you say it. Krajicek. So, Bedrich is, yeah, medium starter. That's a nice potential. The overall, not so much, as he's only 58 overall. So overall, I'm happy with those picks still. They're not bad by any means, and I'm sure we missed on some prospects. Like, there's always one or two just crazy good prospects in every round, as Borodziuk proves there, as he is an elite going to the Islanders, which, they desperately need, to be honest. But besides that, a lot of just like medium top 9 kind of players that really don't turn out to be anything by the looks of it. And yeah, we are going to surpass some low elites here, or supposed low elites. We really don't know if they actually are or not. And their ETAs are pretty trash, so that's why instead we're going to go with a guaranteed pick in Bradley Nickel here. Guaranteed medium top 6 sniper on the left wing. Why wouldn't we pick him? So Let's see how he turns out. I know he's a little off the board, but I mean, for that potential, it's worth the slight rating decrease. So for our next pick here, we are going to be going off the board yet again, this time by even more than that last pick. And we're going to be picking up a low elite goalie in Anthony Del Zotto. We're going to see, I've never actually picked a low elite goalie before, so we're going to see how this looks. And this will be interesting. So he is actually low elite. I wasn't sure if he was even going to turn out to be low elite, but definitely interesting, and we'll see how he develops as a player. He's a pretty good looking goalie overall, besides, you know, the overall. So moving over to pick number 132 now, we are going to see just what exactly we are missing and what we have available still to us moving forward into round 5. So we missed Pittis there as he was a medium top 6. Besides that, I mean, guards and Dahlman, yeah, those were two pretty decent picks, but I mean, we just picked up a 56 overall medium top 6 forward, so I'm incredibly happy with how our players are turning out, and we're just going to keep picking the guys that I've kind of got pinned here. So Marcus Axelson was the next guy I had on my list. I mean, we could have gone with Martindale too, but I don't really think that, like, again, we just need forwards. So Marcus Axelson going to be our pick, a 6'3", 205-pound left winger. I don't know if he's going to be a two-way forward or what. And he was a sniper, and he's, yikes, bottom 6 potential. Ouch. So moving on, you know, I kind of just want to get away from that pick. That was pretty bad. Just move forward, really. Like, even Antilla would have been a better pick, as, you know, at least medium top 9 forwards have the potential to play in the NHL eventually. But yeah, really, that 5th round was just a whole bunch of misses. Like, not good picks, really, to be honest. So the next guy here, again off the board, but guaranteed on his potential, thank God. Davis Hickey, I believe he's the first right winger we're picking this draft, and you know, hopefully he'll be a good player in the future. So 19 years old, low elite, two-way forward, 60 overall. Let's go. That's actually the best overall we've picked in the last 5 picks. That's really good. And finally, moving over to our last pick, we are going to be looking at, well, there's a couple prospects we could have picked. Dubnyk, 71 overall. Jeez. Okay, what did we miss? Because usually, well, I mean, I'm going to say we didn't miss anything in comparison to our pick there. And yeah, we really didn't miss anything. I'm incredibly impressed with how well this has turned out for us overall. So, let's see. Out of all the players we could pick, there's way too many of them, and way too few actually have potential. That's why I'm not going with Alexander Pouliot, or honestly, I don't think we even want to go with Nikolai Leonov there. The guy I was looking at here was quite a ways off the board. As you can see, we're still going down. There he is. Left wing, Frank Knutson. I honestly doubt he's going to turn out to be anything. But man, if he is, like, I don't know. Is it worth it to just take the fat risk there on like a 300th like overall prospect? Or do we go with Leonov, who's a guaranteed two-way defender and may have a shot to actually play in the NHL one day? For a 7th round pick, I think that's pretty sturdy for what we can ask. I don't think Pouliot's going to be anything better than a medium bottom 6 forward. So yeah, Nikolai Leonov going to be our pick. And I mean, hey, 49 overall. Yeah, you take a hit in overall, but for the potential that increases, that's totally worth it. So yeah, I mean, overall as a draft, you really can't complain. Yes, we didn't land a top lottery pick. With the 7th pick, Nordquist is going to come into our team this upcoming year and make an impact. I don't know about Sacito as he has been playing in the OHL. He will probably head back there for at least one more year. And that's too bad, but, you know, that's what you got to pay sometimes as far as a price goes for players. In the 2nd round, I mean, Ellis is a good pick. Not the best available, but still a good pick. And then later on in this round, at the very end, we land LaPointe, who's, again, not bad, but not great. Bykov was not spectacular either, but Krajicek was good for sure in the 3rd round. 4th round back-to-backs, I'm very happy with the 4th round again, as Bradley Nickel and Anthony Del Zotto both turn out to be very good prospects. Axelson was a letdown, unfortunately, and we didn't have any other picks to back him up there in the 6th round. We didn't need to, or in the 5th round, sorry. In the 6th round, Hickey is going to be one of the biggest steals in this team, most likely, as he will definitely grow from where his overall is. We'll give him a shot in the AHL, and I'm excited to see what he can do. And then in the 7th round, Leonov as a 7th round pick is about as good as you can get, besides, you know, Vancouver landing Astley there. So that is going to be it for this NHL entry draft. The 2023 draft goes about as good as it possibly could have. Yes, Bykov, Axelson, and LaPointe, you know, not the most spectacular picks, but still, we have to add depth to this team for the future, and that is what we have done with this draft. I have no complaints whatsoever with how this has turned out. I just realized how bright my room was there because I didn't have my curtain closed at all. So yeah, that is the draft, and we are moving forward into the rest of the offseason here. So it's time to hit the re-sign phase. We got a lot of scouts that have expired here, so you know you just got to go through the tedious contract process. So none of our coaches were expiring, which is good. Unfortunately, Liam Zachary's contract is up, so he's going to want some decent money after the points he's been able to produce over the last couple seasons. And it's funny because guys like Yakimowicz and Scavello have really grown nicely here now for where they're at. We still have a couple guys that aren't our own, as in like John Moore, Cody. We just landed Cody Ceci. Obviously, Ang wants a crazy big contract here, and I don't think we really want to give that to him, but we might. Just depends on the situation, really, I guess. So let's figure all this out. Obviously, our first contract that has to go here has to go to Liam Zachary. He wants a 6-year, $9.5 million. We can go 5 years at 9.3. I will be just fine with that. That's a very good deal, again, for where he's at. A little bit cheaper, or a little bit more expensive than Bryce Anthony. And obviously, we got a serious deal on Dylan Hunt. So it's interesting to analyze because a guy like Comrie still wants to stick around here and play for this team, which, you know, doesn't really make sense when you think about it, as we've lost so much over the last couple of years, but he's sticking around, he's toughing it out, he goes, this team's got some potential, I want to play for them still, and that's what you like to see. So we easily have our top pairing set up here in Scavello and Ferguson. No questions asked there. You know, the 18 and 20-year-old pairing is going to be very good moving forward. And then besides that, you know, the rest of it's a little weak. CC doesn't want to sign. Again, that's okay with me. We do end up with 3 left-handers to 1 right-hander defenseman, which, again, it happens. But really, we just need to sign John Moore, really. That's it. He wants 3 years. I don't know if I want to give him 3 years. Let's go with a 2-year. We can still go 2 years at 2.3. That's pretty good for him. Johannesson here wants to sign. We'll give him more money as he's been a pretty nice piece in the AHL overall, helped with the growth of that team, and that's really all we can ask for from him. The other guys here that I want to grow, let's see. Okay, these guys all need contracts. Bartlett, we have to get into the AHL this upcoming season. He needs a playing spot, so that means that other guys will kind of get pushed aside, as in Anisimov probably won't play as much. Same thing with Lebedev, as really those guys just have no potential for the future. A guy like Zadorov we will also sign, as he is quite nicely rated overall. And then that, I mean, honestly, if we don't sign Anisimov, okay, so we have Johannesson and Mink will be kind of our top 2 defenders there. Then we got Olas, Korliuk, Delmont, and then we just signed Zadorov, which makes 6. And then Bartlett would be 7, but I think I think we are going to end up sitting either Zadorov or Delamont, depending on how that goes. Anisimov and Lebedev, we're just going to let them walk, because honestly, they're not very good defenders in their own right. So, actually, no. Anisimov, I think we need for the bottom pairing, so we will sign him. Everybody else is not getting signed, and that is the defense. As far as right wingers go, McCarron does want to re-sign, which is good because we need that right wing depth. We really don't have a lot of options on that side. Mendez wants to sign. Let's see. Who else needs to sign? See, that's tough because guys like Helman Eriksson, a low top 6 potential is good enough to play in the AHL, but not good enough to really ever make the NHL, I would say. Like, they might make a 4th line at the best for what their potential displays, but actually, you know what? Maybe it's time we let a guy like Nabokov walk. Again, 22 years old. Yes, he's 70 rated, but you look at the guys behind him, they're only a few ratings lower with a year or 2 in hand on him. And with a guy like Hickey in the system too, there's no reason not to sign all these guys with some potential up and let them play. And really, a guy like Nabokov is more just getting in the way than anything, really. Looking at left wingers, we actually have a lot of left wingers that want to sign here, which might be a problem, as we do want other guys to eventually get playtime too here. Todd Ellis is guaranteed going back to the CHL with the Kelowna Rockets. But these 3 guys, I mean, there's 2 of them, really. Mizak and Gunther, we want to start seeing some growth out of them, if possible. So, I think what we're going to do, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're not going to sign Trennan, as he's just done. We're letting him walk. Giovanni Smith is probably worth signing here for another year. How do you say his name? Kammerer here is probably also going to be worth... maybe not. He's got no potential. Actually, no. We will sign him, as we just need... Actually, no, we won't. We won't sign him. So we're going to sign Andreas Janssen there instead. Let Kammerer walk. Sign Giovanni Smith to play 4th line in the NHL. Vorobyov here is going to be good enough to play top line in the AHL, backed up by Gunther, Peterka, and Mizek, and really that looks good. Alto we can let sit. Same with Nickel, and that all looks really promising. As far as our centers go, obviously we've kind of got the majority of our center group laid out already. A guy like Nordqvist is going to actually be playing in the NHL this first season in his rookie year. A guy like Jonathan Ang, see, I'm not sure what I want to do here because I kind of want to let him play in the AHL. I kind of don't. I kind of want to let him just be another big cap hit kind of player for a single season, if possible. And those are kind of my 3 options with him. As far as centers go in our system, we don't have a ton. We have a couple half-decent ones, but again, like guys like I mean, Wendland is probably worth signing just to play in the AHL, but Perre, we're not signing. Ovechkin we can keep as he is our player. But then McGregor and Spacek as well, don't want to sign those guys up. We just want to let the AHL kind of play itself out here. Vokun's definitely a walk-off. There's no reason to sign him at 21 years old and only 63 rated. And then Lapointe, where was he playing? Was he in the queue? It says he was, so yeah. We will let him sit for another year. And yeah, Jonathan Ang, honestly, I'm not going to offer a contract until we get to free agency. And then we will see how much money we have to spend really on guys like that. So let's advance a couple days. Hopefully nobody rejects their contracts even though they're asking for them. And let's see. Okay, so Liam Zachary definitely has re-signed. And let's see. John Moore didn't re-sign, so that was not great. Comrie does not re-sign either. Johnson does not re-sign. Yikes. We do get Smith. We don't get McCarron. Oh, we have a full roster, so Hickey can't sign. Another full roster. Johannesson signs, Bartlett signs, Wendland signs, Anisimov signs. Another full roster, another one. Nordqvist signs. Okay. So we definitely have to release players now at this point, as certain guys are just taking up roster spots that we don't really need. So yeah, a guy like Cody Ceci, he's gone. Going to be literally no more Al change there. We're going to offer $2.3 million to Janssen there for the next couple of years. John Moore, we're going to offer 2.5, and hopefully that will be enough to kind of get him signed up here. Jonathan Ang, we're not going to touch. Mason and Del Zotto here, we are both going to buy out, as really they're not crucial pieces to this team in any way. McCarron, we're going to offer him a 2-year, $1 million contract. That should be enough to get him to sign. Kramer is walking, Spacek's walking. Cecito we're not signing, as he's going to go back to the AHL or the CHL for one more year. Vorobyov we want to sign. Trennan we want to release. That will probably affect morale, maybe not. But Vorobyov signs. Perre we're going to release. Even a guy like Christian Juice probably worth releasing as well. Nabokov we're not going to touch. Zadorov we will sign. And honestly, we should have enough roster spots now that we are okay, I hope. I mean, we do have a lot of players here that we're looking to sign. But at the same time, okay, we offered 7 roster spots. And yeah, Hickey's the other guy I want to sign still. So honestly, that all looks really good. As far as goalies go, Comrie was the one who did not sign. So we're going to offer him $4 million for 1 year here to play in our team. And everybody else is good. Okay, so I realize how far behind. Guys, you have to realize I'm recording from my computer, which is like down here, over to my Elgato on this side, and it's just so delayed that I apologize, but at the same time, there's not much we can really do about it. So, like, come on, look at this. This is like an 8-second delay. Today, please. Okay, so we are going to advance here. Hopefully, everything works out well. And let's see. So obviously, first things first are going to be all the scouts signing. But John Moore does sign for 2.5. Comrie signs for 4. Andreas Janssen signs for 2.3. McCarron signs for $1 million. Davis Hickey signs, Eriksson, Zadorov, Helm, Vorobyov, all those guys sign, which is what you like to see. And we are headed to free agency. So a couple players there that we obviously did not touch, and they will all hit free agency. Amble, Eriksson, and Peterka, honestly, that is just fine with me. Leave those guys up there. And let's see what we got for free agency. We have $37 million free for free agency. How's Dominic Cahoon valued at that much? My gosh. Nolan Patrick is also an elite player in there. Yamamoto looks good. How do you say that? Schlappick? I honestly don't know how to pronounce that. So, usually you hope to see one or two kind of low elite players in here. It doesn't look like that's really the case. So yeah, we missed some. That happens. Oh well. But what we're actually going to do here now is we are going to go to centers. We're going to go find Jonathan Ang, and we're going to drop him a maximum contract here, as really I am totally okay with doing this, simply based on the fact, he's on a two-way contract, that's why, okay. Based on the fact that we don't want to take cap hits. So let's see, we have $37 million free. We're going to drop an $18 million contract on Jonathan Ang for a single season. If he says no to that, he is going certifiably insane. But the other guy that we're going to offer that kind of contract to is going to be, I'm looking for like a 77 rated kind of defenseman here that will be able to hopefully play in our team. Looking more for an undrafted kind of guy if possible. Like that, Brendan Manel. That would be perfect. Okay, so Brendan, how does a single year, $17 million contract sound to you? Sound to you. Yes, we're going to drop 35 out of our $37 million available on two players there, just to, not take cap hits, really. That's the only reason. So, I mean, it would be crazy if one of these guys says, no, I don't want to sign for $18 million a year. Obviously, we have helped set those two guys up financially, and that's what our organization is about here until other players start requesting money. Obviously, this is a single year kind of process for these guys, but it's kind of like, it's almost like charity, but it's more like a lottery where, hey, pick a random person and they get a bunch of money. Obviously, they got to fit some qualifications, but overall, not that many. So we're going to sim to the next season now, where hopefully our team kind of starts to take a little more shape and become a little more, become a little more self-sufficient and winning oriented, I want to say. So yeah. So heading into the next season, we've sold 71% of our tickets about, and yeah, we get some available fun bonuses and things like that, but overall, let's see how our team is looking. So we're still in a rebuilder state. They just want us to hit our profit goals and increase a parking revenue with a new parking lot, really. So that's the only owner goals we have. As far as this team goes, I mean, overall, starting to come together quite nicely, I would say. Yakimowicz is actually fitting quite well for where he is. Let's see, Nordquist fits the third line there. Unfortunately, he doesn't fit the second line, so that kind of stinks. So yeah, again, we are still in fairly, I don't want to say desperate need, but we are in need of a second line center still. Looking at the defense, wow, Kim Nicholas has grown like crazy. And why is Francisco Rogers not playing? That is something I cannot explain, as he really should be, to be honest. Like, Francisco, get in my team here, buddy. You are... Oh, Kim Nicholas is a defensive... Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Okay. That's not good. Manel's a two-way. Okay, so if we play this properly, then we should be able to go like that. John Moore sits because he's not good enough. And we can throw Brendan Manel in here for +1 chemistry. Nice, okay. So that's better. I mean, it stinks that Rogers doesn't pair with... I mean, if you've got two defensive defensemen, the chemistry just doesn't work. Especially if they don't fit the system together. And, yeah, that was proved quite quickly there. But, you know, getting Francisco Rogers some NHL playing time, I think, is going to be crucial for his development. Even though he is rather slow, at that size, when he hits guys, he's gonna hurt them. The other thing I am noticing here is that a lot of our defensemen skating is really not top level by any means. So that might be a problem. I don't think so, but you never know. Askarov, wow, 84 overall now. That is what you like to see from your elite goalie. And hopefully he can maintain this moving forward. But yeah, overall the team's looking in pretty good shape. I'm pretty happy with how they are doing. And it's definitely interesting to see how these lines kind of pair up here as we move forward. Yeah, no, that's definitely interesting how the lines work. So Yakimowicz, yes, he is 25. He's still a medium elite, and he will be for one more year. So hopefully if he can put up some good numbers, then we will actually be seeing some growth in him. As, you know, 45 points in your first NHL season isn't too bad, I would say. And hopefully he can stay healthy as well, because, yes, he is only 5'10". That second line's actually a little bit small when we look at him, but... you know, overall, I'm pretty impressed with how the team's looking still. We could try to go with Marcel Audette on the first line, as, again, he just fits everything really well. It's a possibility, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure how this would work out. I think that might be our best option, to be honest, but... that's 3 righties, and then... okay. So yeah, maybe we try this. Try Liam Zachary on the second line, as really he just doesn't fit anywhere spectacularly well. And you never know. Maybe he'll flourish on the second line with Sam Gagner and Joe Yakimowicz, but we're going to try this for the start of this season anyways, and hopefully things will turn out. Looking at the AHL, which is really the first look we've given them here so far, they're honestly not looking too bad. That's a +3 there, bonus, when we swap those guys around. Mendez, honestly, is not the problem there. Who is? I would say probably Ovechkin. Maybe Vorobyov. Yeah, Vorobyov, definitely. Okay, so I want to try like that. So then we have Peterka. Okay, that looks really good to me. Especially since we get guys like Oliver Suni and Jan Nizak playing where they're supposed to be, which is the top 6 of the AHL. That looks promising. The guys I want, Bartlett has to play, man. He has to. There's no way you can sit him when he's that good looking. Korolyuk is not going to pair very well, just based on the fact of the player types with two-way defensemen versus just regular defensemen. So we're going to go like this. Okay, wait. Maybe not. Okay. So the guy we want to get into the system here is going to be Bartlett, obviously. And we want to put him on the top pairing there, as he is 20. Mason Mink is 21 now and has not exactly developed as well as we would have hoped. You could argue the same for Korolyuk as well. but he is only 19 still, so that is good to see. I think we have to put Olas and Bartlett together as they're drafted. Actually, they weren't drafted in the same year, interestingly enough, but that defensive group looks good. Hickey I want playing in the team somewhere. Bobkov is up to a 75. I mean, he is 22 already, but up to a 75, and Lennox is now 69 overall. So where are we putting this one player here? I don't think we want to mess up that chemistry. Kazanov is a medium top 9. Ovechkin is medium bottom 6. Honestly, if we could put Hickey in on like one of these upper lines, that might be the best option here. Maybe we go Hickey there, put Kazanov up. Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. That looks good. Okay, so our team is all set up. The forwards look real good this year in the AHL. The defense looks all right, definitely acceptable, and the goaltending is all good as well. Our NHL group, not as spectacular, but still, still pretty good for sure. Unfortunately, we have a lot of left-handed defensemen here that are making things a little more difficult than they need to be, unfortunately. So yeah, Rogers for now going to play on the bottom pairing just as his speed is really not up to NHL level by any means, but he's a pretty disciplined player too, I will say that. His body check-in's at an 87, strength is at a 91. Jeez, okay. And man, I gotta say, Askarov's still the guy that's just blowing me away the most with his overall. That's crazy, and then we're paying $4 million a year to Eric Comrie as our backup until one of our new goalies, our AHL goalies, starts to develop. So that is our team for now. That's what we're going to be rocking with next episode as we get through the season. And captains should be staying the same for the actually, no, they won't be. So they give the other alternate to Amir Ferguson. I disagree. We're going to give it to Liam Zachary after the last 2 seasons he's had leading our team in scoring. And even though he's not going to play on the top line here, we're still going to give him the opportunity to, be a leader on this team. So that's our group. That's what we're rocking with. And I am thoroughly impressed here heading into next season with this team. So that is going to be it for me. If you guys are enjoying this NHL 20 Draft to Glory series, then please go down below, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and make sure you go and comment on the video. I love reading your guys' comments, getting feedback, all that kind of stuff. And that is going to be it for me. This is Etanyos signing out, and see ya.